I took a plane from Lagos. And as soon as the pilot said, we're now, in the airspace of Jos, and all of that, Plateau State, all of that. So I looked down and I was mesmerized by what I saw. I saw hills. I saw farmlands. I was like, yo, you don't get this in Lagos. And so, did you hear that? I don't get this here, Daddy.
It's Kiss on Glasses.
Hello, guys. Welcome to Gist on Glasses podcast. It's such an amazing time to be alive. I don't know. I like saying that. Hey, it's really an amazing time to be alive, yeah? So, guys, such an amazing time to be alive. We're grateful to God. It's a great time to be here again. This is the Gist on Glasses podcast. How are you guys doing? What's up? What's happening? Hi, guys. Amazing time to be alive. It's just a big cover already, but obviously, it's always an amazing time to be alive. Yeah, true as you have life, there's hope. As far as there's hope, there's a lot that can happen. There's never an end to the story. Kashim, what's up? What's going on? What's
Many things we found fruitful and that we Bombardier about to get it again. We have a special guest with us.
Yeah, sure. Wait.
Well, I'm excited, yeah. I'm excited. You know what it is, yeah.
Great honor and privilege that I want to welcome somebody for the first time. This is not going to be his last time because you're going to have him here some other time. So this is an amazing time to welcome one of the biggest promoters of Jos Plateau State. I am very, very, very happy to have Mr. Timothy Kunat. Welcome. Let's do it.
Okay, so guys, it's exciting to be here. Appreciate. Thank you for having me here.
I'm just going to go over his bio because it was actually like a lot. Like this man has done a lot in Plateau State. He has done a lot of jobs in northern Nigeria, and I really feel like it is very, very important for us to honor people like this, people who put us on the map for the right reasons. We have a lot of people like him who has done a lot and who is still doing like a lot of good work. And let me just go back. He says Timothy Kunat is the founder of Discover Jos, a tourism and lifestyle brand that showcases Jos City and Plateau State to the world as a viable vacation for tourism and investment. He's also the co-founder of It's In. Yeah. Okay, It's In here. Oh, I get it. It's In here.
Okay.
Yeah, so an entrepreneurship development organization that provides training and business support services to entrepreneurs and businesses in Plateau State, with the aim of enabling them to start, grow, and establish businesses that succeed and thrive. With this one, I bet there's a lot of conversation. Not to permit is that he's a man that you cannot sum up with one line and say there's always more to say. So, first of all, you're welcome to the Gist on Glasses podcast. We are so elated to have you here. It's been an honor. It's been a great privilege. He didn't make this any difficult. Like, we just reached out to him and he said, "Oh, that's nice and good. I will now let us do this." And here we are. Thank you very, very much for that. Thank you for making it happen. So, I believe a good place to start would be the tourism business. How has it been so far? Because it seems to be like a lot. You don't know that tourism is a lot till you get into it. So, how has it been so far? Like, how has it been for you so far?
Okay, so I think I still consider myself a newbie, right? It's in the tourism sector because I'm only now just learning the professional ways of doing a lot of things. So that I'm doing now started as a hobby and out of hobby and curiosity. So, I think that's. And I'll say it's been exciting. I've had a lot of experiences. I've met a lot of amazing people. I've had the opportunity to interact with, just quite a lot of great people, right? And one thing that I would say is that it widens your horizon, right? That interaction, the ability to travel, the ability to connect, the ability to take people around your city and introduce them to things, places, stories, experiences that they would not have had before, that is priceless. So for me, it's an opportunity and it's an honor every single time I have people, especially when they come to Jos. It's always joyful and exciting to show them around that. Even people within Jos, you'll be surprised that there are people within this city, people within the state that don't even know a lot of the places and a lot of the things and the stories behind where they are and all of that. So I think that generally, from my perspective, it's been exciting so far. Being in this tourism field, like I said, it gives you the opportunity to meet people, and I think that there's nothing better than being in that place where you're interacting with people from various backgrounds and various experiences, and just rubbing minds and sharing stories and hearing their travel stories on, and then you adding to that and giving them good memories to live with. So yeah.
So what was that moment for you like when you just realized that I can do this, like I have the passion, I have the talent, I can bring this opportunity to people to see these things? Was it something that you've had since like you were a kid or a king later along the way?
Okay, I've always enjoyed storytelling and always enjoyed traveling. So, but with respect to this, I think it was more influenced by so many of my friends, right? So a few of my friends at different times then come to Jos, and I'll say, "Oh, hop on in, let's go around town." And then we'll go to different places, and then I'll be giving them stories because I read a lot. So I like to find out what's the history behind this place, what's the story behind that place, just to make it interesting. The first one came and said, "Yo, actually, I know we to do something about this thing." I'm like, "Nah, I'm not. I don't think it's my thing. That's not my turf." And then another person, and then so it became a consistent thing where people kept saying, "I think you should do this. I think you should try." So one day I thought, okay, let me so okay, so a little backstory. With all the pressure, then my wife also added to the pressure to say, "Can't you hear what everybody's saying? I think you're good at this thing, so why not?" So I said, "Okay, you know what, I'll create an Instagram page and I'll just leave it there. I don't know what I'm going to do with kids guests. Maybe create content for guitars we're going around these people, but just keep it there." And then a few years ago, then shortly after that, there was an event that happened in Jos. Jos was organized by Africa Creative Tourism Plus. Okay, right? Act Plus. Right. And they had this Jos City photo walk. So there were lots of guys that came from Abuja and other places. So we went to different places, and even though they had official tour guides, I was chipping in with some of the groups and say, "Oh, do you know this about this place?" And somebody said, "Yo, you should actually do this thing." And I said, "Well, I actually do have a page. I've not posted anything yet." And then so that was how my first post came, because she was like, "You need to post right now." So that was how it started, and almost 2 years now. I think the journey has gone faster than I could have imagined. Let's not even like, right? Because from where I stood to where I am at that time to where I am right now, there's a lot that's been just amazing growth.
When was this? Like, how did we put it?
So 2023.
Wow.
Yeah, okay. 2023. So I officially started creating content, especially around tourism and all of that stuff. In I think July 2023.
So I'm actually coming up free to see you it's real. So this is 2 years.
You know, I think there's one of the Instagram videos that I saw. I can't really remember because there's a lot of them. The first one, I was like, "Yo, this place did this Jos. Are you serious?" I was quite blown away, and immediately I followed the page, like, because I'm very, very enthusiastic about Jos. Because there's a lot of potential. There's a lot of opportunities that should be discovered that a lot of people will not do. So when I saw that post, I was like, "Man, I followed the page." And then you did a post recently, I think it was last year, about why we call this place Wifi. And why we call go down base. And I was like, "Yo," and then I was like,
You know, that actually brings me to the question I wanted to ask. You said you were passionate about learning and you had a lot and all of that. And I wanted to ask, why Jos? I mean, you could explore any other place or talk about any other place specifically.
or more of the attraction to Jos? Was it a situational thing, or is there more sentiment to it, or how does that work for you?
My first time in Plateau City was 2016 when I came for NOS. Okay. 2016. I did the 2016-2017 batch. Like for sure, not that one. But it was one of those batches that spilled. So it was like towards the end of 2016, early 2017 issue. We finished that year. I finished that year 2017. And I didn't serve in Jos. I served in Plateau State. That now my first time coming in. And I took a plane from Lagos. And as soon as the pilot said, we're now, in the airspace of Jos, and all of that, Plateau State, all of that. So I looked down and I was mesmerized by what I saw. I saw hills. I saw farmlands. I was like, yo, you don't get this in Lagos. And so,
Did you hear that?
I don't get this here, Daddy. And this is not me demarketing Lagos, right? I'm speaking as someone who spent 20-something plus years there. Or I grew up 20-something plus years there. I had lived elsewhere before we moved to Lagos and then like that. So, but of course, I love the beach. I do love the beach. It's one of my favorite places to be. But seeing this place with these beautiful rock formations, cool weather. I mean, when we stepped out of the plane, the weather or the temperature outside the plane was colder than the temperature inside the plane that I was coming from. I was like, yo, what is this? And then we drove from the airport in Haipan to Camping Mango there. I just kept telling myself, this is amazing. So all the time I spent, I didn't serve, like I said, in John Petrol, so I served in Clan local government. Right. A village that is about 5.5 hours or 6 hours road just within the same Plateau State. But as my service year was wrapping up, I kind of says that I was just going to build here. Right. So I was done with service. I did go back to Lagos because I thought, hey, I probably had better opportunities. That's what I thought. But I got back there in Lagos. A number of things happened. I felt very convinced beyond every reasonable doubt that it was time to back my life up. I moved to a city. I started my life afresh with my folks. I understand that my folks are in Lagos. Okay, right. Even though, my parents, siblings, everybody, also the people that I grew up around were there. So I was going to have to come here to begin to build new relationships, new everything, new experiences, start from scratch, and of course God put a few people in the process to make it very helpful. So that's how I came to just that. So I would say that I was had that deep conviction. You can choose to call it a deep conviction. I prefer to say, I sense that God was leading me to come to Jos as a big deal.
So when you saw your NYC postcode, what was the
Feeling like I was excited.
so you
So let me tell. So sometimes I do have bouts of I don't know. I'm looking for another name to call it, but sometimes I can sense what's ahead. Okay, it happens to me. So secondary, yeah, I get premonitions like that. Yeah, that's it. That's a good technical word to call it. Call it other things, but yeah, right. And so from school, in my final year, but that's tell my friends, I'm going to send batches this. Wow, really? Yeah, I can give you people to call now as we're here. And yeah, I did not tell them that. Of course, we didn't hear. You confirm with them. I said that I just was telling them I'll say about to speak. So I was like, so when the call up came and I saw my post, I said, hey now, let's go.
this is your medium thing. Is it only for
Yeah, so I'm very sensitive on many matters because it's not. Yeah, it's just.
I remember my first video I saw of your content. It was during the last year there was Christmas festival, the hot air balloons. Yeah. And I was also breezing through, so I just saw the hot air balloon on my feet. I was like, okay. Then I saw how like the angles you used and the music, and it was a very cinematic experience. So, yeah, each person wants me to tune into this. No, it's not like the other people that will do it and it's just so out, like it's also basic, so blunt that you have to now add more, but then you already put the emotion out there. So it's like, wow.
That's why it tells you that there's a lot of the intentionality that brings into creating this content. It's not just coming to set up a camera or just play music. You have to get the right sound, the right angles, the right framing to really send the message that you want to pass upon. So it's not just coming to just do it. You have to do it the right way. So it tells you that there's a lot of intentionality that goes into his work.
Content.
It's not just tourism content creator as usual. No, there's a lot of work that goes into this whole thing.
So after seeing it, I was like, yo, I have to find out where this place is. And I was like, it's landfill, I'm coming to landfill. And I was like, I need to see what this guy was showing out there. And he was like, it was such a great experience to know that, okay, this is something that it felt like I pulled that moment out of the storybook. And I saw it, I imagined it, then I was there experiencing, all because someone took the time to tell the story of that.
Yeah, and for that video is probably one of my, I was telling you guys, probably one of my best performing videos. And shout out to Saga. Saga is one of the best, one of the very top tier videographers in this Jos city. And so we were there together that day. And so he did the drone shots, right? And I told him, I said, would you help me take a video of me running? Because when the hot air balloon was being inflated, it was to be inflated on the ground with a big powered
Machine.
this is like an industrial fan, right? So it blows in a lot of air into it. So it rises like a canopy. It's really big. So it rises like a canopy. So we could enter it. So I told, would you take a video of me running into it and all that? So I did that, and then he took the drone shots and then shared the drone videos, and then shared with me. So I sat down with all of that. I said, okay, now how do I measure all of this? And then, of course, the creative storytelling aspect of my night came to us. So, okay. And then I said, okay, and I watched it. So what I do, I watch, before I put out a video, I probably watch it like, 8,000 times. I know that's a lot of times. All right. Then I'll tell my wife, oh, would you watch this video for me? What do you think? She'll say, okay, I think it looks nice, because I always like to get a third party perspective, so that was how that video was created. But I didn't think they could even go this far. I knew it would do well, because that sometimes I'm editing the video and I'm like, this video is good, go too well. But I didn't know it was going to go that far. And that video actually brought a lot of people to Jos for Christmas. Wow, yes.
Yeah, speaking about the whole Christmas, how was the event for you? How was the planning and the organization? What do you think were the most fun things to do within that period, December?
Yeah, so I think that apart from the Jos Family Christmas Festival that was organized by the state government, the Plateau State Tourism Corporation, or the state government and all of that, I would say that there were a lot of other activities, more than ever before. There were a lot of other activities during the end of year Christmas period, right? So people were coming in and going out, so many things happening. So there was an archery club that launched in December. There was the Little Miss Tourism pageant. There was an arcade set up for kids to play. There were competitions. There were just so many things at the Christmas village. Just a lot was going on at the Christmas village at the same time. Amazing stuff. So if I say, should I start to reel out what were the activities? Please just hold on to the neck here. If I want to say what were the activities and all of that, I probably might miss out on one or two, right? So, but December was lit.
Yeah, that was very lit.
This was a December that I saw that brought the city together. The unity fan was beautiful. The highlight of it was the crossover event. That crossover event, it was deeply emotional for many people, because I don't think that a lot of people in Jos have connected on that level on a social front like that, apart from Christian events, right? Or on a social front like that, maybe in a long time.
Yeah, in a long time.
In a long time.
That's sense.
So it was one. Yes. So it was like healing for the city, and it was beautiful to watch, right? And so for me, I felt like the emotions from that day, and how the pictures and the videos from that day was trending. Those pictures, they were trending for days from that crossover. That was like the highlight.
I feel like Plateau State was literally trending that whole week on Twitter.
From December 1st, there were activities in Jos from December 1st downward
Till
Every
single day, same thing to engage you. I was posting all through December. I started doing this events from the week. Yeah. So every week I posted. People would share events with me. I'll post. There were many events. I mean, don't let's all forget that there was polo tournaments. Big polo tournaments in December. That spilled. I think it spilled into January. So many activities, and for me it was beautiful because J-Town was coming alive for the first time in that sense in a long time. And it's there's a, for lack of better word, there's a spirit of Jos, like that beautiful thing, like it's being restored, it's coming back again. A lot of people, because of course the history of all the things that happened and all of that kind of took away the
aura.
just the aura, the thing, that vibe that Jos has, and then now it's coming back and it's beautiful to see.
Speaking of what you just said about that aura, it's very evident because most times when you see someone from that city, it's quite easy to identify that, hey, this guy is from this city or all of that.
Yeah.
So when you see that aura going missing for a long time, yes, we've definitely faced our challenges, but we're coming to points whereby we're healing, rebuilding, and rebuilding.
So this thing you just said, artists are coming to Lagos, and immediately they touch down Lagos from the airport. Somebody just talk to them and like, "Are you from Plateau State?" And they're like, "How did you know that?" He said, "Hey, how would they look?" And when she was telling me that, I was like, really? Like, okay, so how do you it's so
good or bad, but
like, oh, me. There's this, how do I put it now? There's this calmness that comes with people who live in Jos. Like, there's this natural calmness. You're not in a rush. You feel like, okay, it's going to take time to tell, like, it's going to take its course and all of that. So you're not really in a rush to, like, get things done and stuff. You just wait and things happen naturally, So I don't know how to, you cannot explain it. I don't know whether you have better words.
Aura. It's just the aura.
That's all.
It's like with your tourism now and everything you need to do for Jos, it's like, what do you see happening this year? And what kind of opportunities would you like Jos to create?
Okay, so I feel that there will be more social events this year because last year was a very good year. And the way last year ended, it ended on a high, like just like I said before. And so I think that there will be a lot of events coming up this year, and not a lot. And if you've noticed the trend, this is when week 5 of 2025,
Yeah.
a lot of travel and lifestyle tour content creators have been coming to town between December and now. Wow. People with large followings, people with influence, different groups have been coming to town. Now, more than ever in the last few years, or in recent years, the interest for tourists to come to Jos has increased. There are about 3-4 groups I'm currently in talks with that want to come to Jos for tour between February and April. Wow, bro. Some of the groups are 20 people, some of the groups are 10 people, some of the groups are 5, like that. People are interested in coming. Now, I don't know if you've noticed that there's a trend across the tourism and travel space in Nigeria with young people, millennials and Gen Zs, especially the late millennials and then the Gen Zs. Young Nigerians are now interested in traveling Nigeria again.
Yeah.
After COVID, a lot of if you Nigerians began to create content, travel content within Nigeria, that sparked a revolution. sparked a massive revolution. And so now it's becoming cool to say, I visited this city and that city and this state and that state. So people are now more interested. And of course, let's not forget the fact that exchange rate has gone crazy. So traveling abroad is not as easy here or as cheap as it used to be before. So people are looking for affordable options. Do you understand? So people now, what has been trending with a lot of people now is northern tours. Because northern Nigeria is probably part of the most unexplored or the explored parts of the country. So people have had this curiosity about northern Nigeria, right? Everywhere, and of course, when we say northern Nigeria, we're talking about the entire
Northern region.
that is north central, northeast, north and northwest. Because I know that there's the middle belt, and I know that's the conversion. So when I speak about this, I'm speaking in terms of geopolitical zone here. I'm not there. What we you guys know what yeah. So, but the interest has increased. Just yesterday, I had a tourist who came into town just this last week, and they had to go to a number of places. And she was just saying she was ending her northern tour with Jos. So she was returning to she's going to be returning to Lagos either tomorrow. So even and she was just saying how she had gone to Kano, she had gone to I think Bauchi, she had gone to Gobe. I can let her just so people are interested in traveling Nigeria, and that in itself is an opportunity. So that I had to give that back story to answer what you just said. Now, opportunities that lie in this travel or tourism and hospitality space, they are too numerous to count. Because when people come into a city for tourism, for leisure, for whatever, they come into a city as visitors, they will need places to stay. Yeah. They will need food to eat. They will need people to help them experience what life in that city is. What else do you think they will need? They probably need souvenirs.
Yes.
Right? They will need transportation. They will need maybe some sports or activities. Just as so when you look at some of these things, that entertainment, when you look at all of some of these things, you know the amount of value in these industry, the amount of opportunities
You can create.
that you can create. So, too many car rentals, right? Souvenir sales, live music, food, cultural troops, food experiences. Somebody was telling me that the other day she was saying, coming to Jos, she doesn't just want to experience. Okay, they were saying, I know to just come just and be eating rice. What is the food of the people here? Right now, I can tell you for a fact, to the best of my knowledge, like I said, to the best of my knowledge, I don't know everywhere it is just okay, but to the best of my knowledge, I don't know any restaurant in this city that serves only Plateau dishes.
And that's a big opportunity. That is the space.
I don't know any, like I said, I'm not saying there's none, but I'm saying I don't know. If there is, if you're watching us right now, if you know anyone, please let me know. Right? Share it in the comment section. But I don't know any restaurant that serves only Plateau dishes, where you can enter and see specific kinds of food in a nice but traditional setting. Like the interior and the cutlery, the place, everything, the theme is traditional, right? Where you can come and eat what? Rizga, or eat Amora, or eat, do you understand? Or eat gote, or drink brukutu, or eat namas. Namas is that, that's very important. Priceless, meats. It's a very good meat. I'm telling you, world class, world standard. You understand? So that in itself is an experience. Yeah. Because people pay good money. People will pay good money for that. Yeah. Farm visits.
Yeah, everyone visits. Agriculture, we don't overexplore because we can do farmhouses and all of that.
See, farm visits.
Yeah.
Come on. The opportunities within the within this tourism hospitality lifestyle space in Plateau State is so large. Every young person can find themselves gainfully employed,
Through tourism.
and there will still be space.
Abundance.
We've not talked about those who are doing content creation, because a large chunk of the people who are coming into town are seeing my content, for example, and it is a major. That is basically the adverts that sales come to the city. People like Frizzle, people like who else? There are a few guys who are putting out content around Jos that is going everywhere. People are saying, you know what, I want to come here. I want to go there. So do you understand? So tour guides. Do you understand? So many opportunities. So this for me is what, just to answer your question, that these are some of the opportunities here. And if you're a young person that is listening to us, this if it's morning, afternoon, night, whatever time you're listening, watching this, right? You can ask yourself and begin to say, in the entire value chain, where can I build a business? Where can I provide a product or a service that can attend to the needs of the people that were because more and more visitors will come to Jos. That is what we want. We want Jos to become the hotbed of tourism in Nigeria. We want that when you think about I'm visiting Nigeria and you want to go on an exciting adventure filled, nature themed holiday, you're thinking of family themed holiday, you're thinking of nowhere else than Jos. Because Jos actually used to be that.
Yeah. Home of peace and tourism.
Yes, it is the home of peace and tourism. Right? So, if we're really home of peace and tourism, every young person should begin to think and ask themselves, where can I build a product or service within this tourism value chain to ensure that I'm part of this, of building what we're building, right? Because of course, the financial opportunities will also come as people come. How did people answer the question?
Yeah, fully.
Okay.
I there's a shirt I did that is written on super on it. I saw it from a DJ, and I went for a brother. I like the shirt. Please, can I take a picture of it? So I took a picture of the shirt, and my other brother did the design for me, and he printed it and he did me, and I wore the shirt. And I did a video. I went to Twitter, one of those first two season. And I did a video and I posted it on TikTok. And somebody on TikTok saw the shirt and he was asking, what does it just boy mean? Then I now responded and I said, oh, okay, Just Boy is a young person. He is extremely intelligent, brilliant, hardworking, dedicated to his work, peace, society, just Nigeria. And he's like, oh, really? Nice. I would like to visit Plateau State. I'm like, okay. So welcome. You're very, very. So I went to his DM and I messaged him. I'm like, okay, whenever you're ready, just let me know. I'll help you to facilitate logistics. I know people who will do this for you very, very quickly and very, very easy. So, like, when we are talking, I could literally relate to the opportunities that are available. There's a lot that can be done. There's a lot that people. I hate it when I see young people say, oh, there are no jobs. Like this. I feel like, we are not really ready to create something. So, because the opportunities are very, very wide and very, very big. And these opportunities are open to everybody. Right now, there are no gatekeepers.
Yeah.
So you can just jump in and make it happen and do stuff. And it's going to go down like wildfire. Yeah.
Speaking of which, you mentioned something about your shirts, Paul Just Boy thing, and the other very important thing about the city of this state is that we have a lot of arts and culture. We have a lot of indigenous people doing domestic stuff, local. Yeah. And it's just, my question is, how do we promote this? How does this, because the thing just is moving things out or just selling it over there. What are the best ways for these companies down here? Because we had the leather factory, I don't know if it's still, I don't know if it's still up and running, but one of the major challenges is how to actually sell these things. So I want to know what are the challenges facing the businesses that are local, and what are the best ways to actually sell that these businesses?
Okay, so many of the businesses that are doing arts and crafts and all of that kind of stuff, a lot of times I found that the skill level in this city is as people are super talented. And I'm not saying this because we're here and I'm also a promoter of just. I'm saying this because I have seen the artisans in Plateau State are super talented. Right. So skill is high. However, skill is not enough to convert to business.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
So when you have amazing products like that, these crafts, these coats, these leatherworks, all of this, there has to be a channel of visibility. Do you understand? Yeah. People have to be able to find you. People have to be able to know that you have this product or service for sale. Apart from, and this is on a general term, on a general basis, and I'm not just speaking only about guys in the crafts, but I will come back to them. I find that, okay, so social media, the barrier to entry now is very easy. Have a device, create an account, take pictures, take videos, post. All you're spending on is your data. People, the world is now a global village where people can literally find you. Right? But I find that a lot of businesses here, and that's one of my pains, don't really rate social media. People just are doing their thing and saying, well, if customer comes, great. If customer doesn't come,
They think it should have just that.
just that there has to be intentionality about it. So you have artworks, you have musical sculptures, you have leather, you have all of these things. There has to be a channel that gets people to see. People cannot buy what they don't see. What I mean, you cannot just tell me, oh, you know, this thing is so nice. Oh, can I see it? Do you understand? So the first thing is that there should be visibility. And that's where, I mean, now basically everybody's creating content in one way or the other. Right? Even if it's just taking pictures of what you're selling and all that. But these people have to create pictures, post them online, right? Create videos, all of that, right? So that's what the visibility aspect, which is the critical aspect. But apart from visibility, is customer service. And I'm sad, and it pains me to say that as a city, and many of us are still, we've not understood customer service, right? So many of these people, they are great at what they do, but they don't really have great customer service skills that can keep bringing people to come and buy or to ship out to wherever they are. So customer service is another thing. It's critical, right? Because it's not enough for you to have this amazing thing and now you are visible. What's the flow? When I call your number to order, how does it go? Do I have to call that number 10 times? Right? Do I have to call that number 10 times before I get a response? When I finally get a response, do I have to chase you to the point where I feel like you have scammed me before you bring it? Right? There has to be a process. Packaging is also part of that because you cannot put if you want to begin to interact with the outside market that will pay top dollar for what you're serving, right? It has to be packaged well, not inside bagging leather. It must be appealing. Do you understand? It must be appealing. These are some critical factors that make that whatever craft, whatever that you have. If you really want to be able to get these things to be exported, get these things to be sold all over the country and become bigger and even bring revenue into the States, this is what the things that we need to look at critically. So, and I always tell people that the fact that, like I said before, the fact that you are skilled in a particular area does not mean that you can build a business out of it. So, a major gap there is the knowledge gap. How do I go from skill to business? There are certain skills, there are certain things you must learn to be able to build a business that is not just a hobby, that is not just going on vibes. A business that is a business, right? There are certain things that you must learn, certain things that you must know, and people that you must interact with. Where a lot of times everybody wants also keep their thing to themselves and say, oh, this is my idea, this is how I want it to be. And and you don't realize that collaboration is the new gold.
That's key to success.
Collaboration is the new gold. There are places there, for example, let's even get into a little away from this. You'll find, okay, not even away. I had a particular case recently of a particular crafts thing. A few people came and interacted with that person and all of that, and they were not really open to allowing people to actually just like create content out of what they were doing. And it was not like people were going to use the content from there, like there was no. Do you understand? So even I have had those kind of issues, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I understand the whole copyright and the whole intellectual property kind of stuff, but there's also imbalance between that and ensuring that you're visible enough, especially when you have products like that, those kind of unique products that knows go out, because each of those things are actually telling the story about those things. They are getting people, when people come into the city, they want to buy stuff to go back home with, right? But they will need to find you first where you are. They will need to find you first. I was talking to a particular restaurant the other day. I was telling the manager that your place is beautiful, your service is nice, the food is nice, but nobody can find you online. When you go to your Instagram page, it's just like 10 pictures of that day, and the last picture you posted was since July last year.
Career not clear.
You understand? So it's annoying because then somebody goes, a lot of people who have visited, they go on Google to check restaurants in Jos. They go on Instagram or on TikTok and then by the time they check and they go to your page and they don't see anything, they're like, maybe they're not operational.
You know, sorry to continue. I because of the line of work I do, I'm into a little bit of hospitality, so we have an hardware that people this December period I was really busy, like I had guests around throughout Christmas, and I was always getting food for them, you know. So there was this, I don't want to call the name of the restaurant, so I don't do market here or that. But their number, they had two numbers. One was not going to that. The other one, I called over 15 times, they didn't kick. I had to go there on the Sunday morning. I'm feeling they were actually open. I think they're the only restaurant that was open on a Sunday morning in the entire region. So I had to drive all the way. I went there, I bought food. You imagine how easy it would have been if they could have this response, and then I didn't need to go there. Just send the phone number to the guest, tell them, okay, whatever you want, just call these people and give out as a hostel in this, you know. But it was so difficult to get a hold of these people.
Yeah, just to pick up on what you're saying, there's this major complaint I also have with this city is that with the timing that business is open, that is my major challenge.
Let me tell you something. When I came to Jos the first time, I think this was in 2011 when I moved back to set. And my phone had an issue. I wanted to fix my phone. I woke up early in the morning and I was running to terminals. I got started like 8:39. In my mind, businesses open by 8 o'clock. Because as an entrepreneur myself, I opened at 8 o'clock. So I ran to terminals by 8 o'clock. And it was like a ghost town. And like, what did they happen for it?
And then the major complaint I have with this issue, in fact, sad to say that you see major businesses opening 10, more around 10, and that's when they are going to get it there. It's not like they've already set up for business. I feel it's a very bad opening year. Funny enough, you don't have pharmacies also closing at which you don't know, and the emergency that someone can have at certain point. I feel like there's some essentials that whether we like it or not as a city, we shouldn't get or should be available to us, and we should be able to find. Also, transportation is a bit difficult. It's one very major challenge.
Governments currently are working on that. Now, I got to wind of something that they're working at currently that will make sure that
This one small.
it's going to give you a to just make sure that safer transportation and transportation can also be amenable for much purposes.
Because I really feel bad for
Especially for a city like Jos that there was. They don't even use keke here, and then keke stops by 7 o'clock. So it's
6 o'clock.
it was 6 o'clock. I thought it was 7 because they moved it to 7. Yes, they moved it to 7. Yeah, so but they're working on something that would allow much longer, and then you know.
Well, yeah, and I thought that's another thing too. I mean, like, just was the city part that when before the sense of the house killing, like life all that. Nobody used to go to bed around now. You see 8 o'clock, everybody is running back to their home.
Yeah. Oh, back then, but Vinny, that's all like a response to trauma.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a response to trauma, but slowly but surely, it's already changing. There, it's already changing. There are days when I've been in this city, I've driven around by midnight, by 1 o'clock. You know, normal where you should understand, no issue, nothing at all, right? But of course, people are still now easing up. A few years ago, everything was shutting down by 6 o'clock. You won't find any open restaurants after 6 o'clock. A few years ago. Now, I mean, there are restaurants that you can stay till 10 o'clock.
yeah. So that's really good. There's I mean 247 Street.
Right
We have Lagos.
We were having this conversation with you a few days ago, and we are talking about the exposure, and we are talking about people getting to know what is actually going on. And I did a lot of things as an artist myself. I told you the other time, there's a lot of great potential. When I see people complain about not having money, and you walk down the street to see an incredible rapper, a songwriter, a producer, and you say there's no money. There's money in front of you. It's just going to tap into the potential that is there. What would you say about people who assume that some of these people are miscreants? You just see them, and we see them being all creative and all vibed up, and just be about autism, very well that. What would you say about people like that?
Okay, please, I need you to explain that a little bit.
Okay.
Yes, I can see.
That in Jos is like regarded like the home of artistry.
Yes.
Now, so you see, there's a lot of creative people, either in music, in arts, in sciences, in a lot of fields. Now, we have people who they actually have the ability to invest, because when you deal with them, you know that okay, this person, based on my own small capacity, this person should be able to, invest, or he has the capacity to invest. But they tend to look at a lot of young people, Gen Z, millennials, as miscreants to society. All they do is just rap and sing, all they don't put their crap. They just feel like okay, no, they're not doing what they should be doing.
Yeah.
What would you say about people like that who we feel that they have the capacity to invest in the creative arts and are not doing anything about it? Meanwhile, people are coming in from Lagos to come and take our artists and take them away. And after a few years, I don't think there's any music director in Nigeria that did not come to school with us. You barely find any. Yes, you barely find any that did not come to school with us. So there's a lot that could have been done, but these people, they're always taking out and they go out there, and most of them never come back. So of course, like, how do we move past this thing?
Okay, so I can't say I know a lot about the creative industry in Jos, but what I can say from the perspective, I'll talk from both perspectives. From the perspective of the investor, of the will-be investor, nobody was thrilled with their bar.
Yeah.
Right. Nobody was thrilled with their bar. So, while you might be talented and gifted in a particular say, there are steps that you as a person must be taking, that an investor will look and say, this person seems to understand what they are doing, right? And there are certain steps that they will take that will make that especially understand. Now, the problem with YouTube people is the fact that, one, especially in this part of Nigeria, education is still a very big deal. It's a very big deal. So when you find a young person who, from their perspective, who says, "Oh, I just want to be rapping all day and all that," they feel like you're not serious because get an education. And in a sense, for an economy like Nigeria, I always advise, no matter how creative you are, get an education.
Yeah.
And you may not use it, though. You might get to the point where you blow, like whiskey that DVD. But before you reach that level, well, because it's not going to be automatic. It's not like, okay, it's not going to be like, even the guys that have left from here to Lagos or Abuja, they didn't just blow immediately, they got there. Right? They'll still put in the work. So, because the truth is, an education allows you to be able to even take on certain skills. Now the world is global, so you can even begin to apply for remote jobs dollar-paying jobs and all of that from the comfort of Nigeria. So you can start doing making those small moves before the music has gotten to the music or the art has gotten to a place where it has blew. So I was speaking, like I said, from the perspective of the investor. He or she wants to be able to see that my money is not going to go to waste. Right? There's also certain kind of lifestyle that you will live that I would ask myself, if I put money into here, will it go into this lifestyle? Will I be able to get returns, or am I going to be funding a lifestyle and not a business? Because I don't want to be funding, an investor doesn't want to fund a lifestyle. He wants to fund a business. He wants to be able to help you're in the music business. So he's coming in to say, okay, you have this craft, you have this thing, how do you take it from here to here? I want to be sure that money is not going to Friday Night Live, declaring for boys, blah, blah, that, and all that. Do you understand? So it's a bit of a tricky place. Now, from the perspective of the creative, I also think that sometimes sometimes nobody will believe in you until you prove yourself. Right. So keep doing what you're doing. As long as you know that your head is in the game and you have a vision and you have put everything in place, keep doing what you're doing. The truth is that sometimes people around you might despise you, and then, like you had said before, somebody from outside comes and sees the value that you have, right? But by all means, build skill, develop yourself, because the truth is that there are some industries that if you don't build skill, you cannot be. Nobody's ovation lasts forever. Yeah. Nobody's ovation. Music, football, you understand now?
I agree.
But see, the reason why you said he will not agree is because he's not just a footballer. He has built other businesses off the popularity that he has gained from football. So that's what I'm saying. That ovation will not last forever. So you will still have to be able to build capacity to ensure that if I'm in this music space, for it, let's use music for example, started as an artist, I must be able to convert my popularity and fame into other streams of income, because I will not be on the stage forever. Do you understand? So some of them have now become brand ambassadors. Some of them have now set up even record labels. Some of them have gotten into record, like I said, record labels, other parts, other things. I mean, you see abroad, some of them even have, some of the artists over there now have clothing lines, perfume lines, shoe deals, all of those things. Because the ovation does not last forever. But when a person keeps building and developing capacity, right, then you can elongate and then move from that's the word, evolving. That you keep evolving as the ovation changes, right? So to the artist, to the creative, build yourself. Right now, people are doing digital art. Go and learn digital art. If all you know is oil on canvas, I think that's what they post about now, right? Learn digital art. People are learning. Just keep building yourself. Keep building skills, ensuring that one day, that blow at the fight, it will come. But when it comes, it should also meet you ready.
Thank you. Sorry, I was cut you short, but I just wanted to paint you a scenario here. So let's say I'm someone coming in from the different states, and I would reach out to you, and I would like you to talk. Thank you, say, maybe talk places that. So now you're painting me in the scenario. Let's say walk me through maybe what a tour would be like in Jos, or some like me visiting more. Use it as an example, yeah.
Okay, so like many visitors, some of the top places that people would always go to are places like the museum. I always like to take everybody to the museum, as much as possible, because that museum there is one of the oldest museums in Nigeria. But in terms of landmass, it's the largest museum in Nigeria. Oh wow. Okay. The Jos Museum has too much history. It's loaded with a lot of history, right? Do you know that I don't know if it is all, but at least a large number of Plateau tribes are represented in that museum in terms of their architecture. So there's a section of the museum called the Museum of Traditional Architecture, right? So you can actually see how our homes and our communities used to look like before colonial interaction.
Well, I'm down to my calabashes at home.
Right? There's a pottery section
Yeah.
that the pots and the those clay pots and all of those artifacts there were gathered. Some of them are older some of them are older than 50, 60 years. Gathered over a period of time to represent different parts of Nigeria. So almost every region of Nigeria is represented there in terms of their pottery and their pottery and art collection. Do you understand? So there's just too much history there. The history is important for all of us. If history was taken out of our curriculum, we should find ways by ourselves to better know our history. So I like people going there because, of course, and then of course there's the zoo within that place too, right? There's the Monument Train Cafe, which is basically the train coach that brought Queen Elizabeth to Jos, right? It's now being maintained as a cafe, right? So it's there. You can actually see it. Get in, look at what it is. There's the 100 steps to the Afiziri settlement, right? The Afiziri, that place used to be like a prayer, spiritual ground for the Afiziri people within that same museum compound. So you can take a short hike at the entrance. You'd see they try to recreate what the king's palace looks like. So you see how the chief sits and all of that, all the props that they use for their traditional stuff, right? And then you hike up, right? Then there's Wildlife Park, the Jos Wildlife Park. Jos Wildlife Park is the largest man-made zoological garden in Nigeria, right? So it's about 8 square kilometers, massive space, right? So Jos Wildlife Park is another place that to go to. There's 10 Commandments Monument, right? That's another place. That's the largest 10 Commandments monument in Africa, right? And so it holds a lot of significance, especially for people who are religious, right? That's one place. There's the Rayfield Resort, right? That's another place. There is Maza, the hills and the waterfall at Maza, right? There's Sherry Hills, right? For those who like to hike. What else? And I'm just trying to touch on several places around. Then you can now start going out of town to go to Asop, to go to Rion Rock, to go to places like Keran volcanic mountains, like that. So these are some of the places that a lot of people go to, and I know people who still go. What's it called? Chasing waterfalls. And they're telling me, there's this new waterfall they found from their plenty waka around so place. So let's go and see it. Do you understand? So there are a lot of places. In a few things that we put in place, right? Like access rules, like security infrastructure. For some of those places that are not the usual popular places that people always go to. Right, but these are some of the many places that tourists.
Basically, there's a lot you can do when you come to Jos. Just try and discover Jos. Well, it's been a very, very wow time spent with you having these conversations. Okay, even me, like, you're saying something and I'm like, oh, really? You mean this I didn't know this.
Every day, yeah.
So, thank you very, very much to our guests, to the house. We really appreciate your coming. It's such an amazing.
So just before you wrap, I don't know if you have any bottom liner for us.
Okay, for it.
Well, before I go, I will say, as I always say, right, every Nigerian needs to come and experience Plateau State. Every Nigerian needs to come and experience Jos. I've just talked about what I just mentioned now are the natural landscapes, or that we're not even talking about agriculture.
Yes.
So don't talk about in this whole conversation. We didn't really talk about agriculture. We didn't talk about the fact that Jos has coffee farms, and some of the best coffee in Nigeria is really here. We talked about the fact that just largest producers of strawberries in Nigeria, and maybe even West Africa. I don't know yet. I've not done my research up to date, but Jos has strawberries upon strawberries. We didn't talk about the fact that almost every exotic crop can grow in Jos. And yes, there was on a farm that grows apples.
Yes.
Right, and I was on a farm that has grapes.
On tree.
What's that?
Palms? I got
Date palms.
Yeah.
Dabino. Yeah. Yes, there's some people who have like like that, but I think they grow more up north. Okay, right? But too many things, just too many things. So every Nigerian needs to experience Plateau at least 3 times in their lives. Why do I say it 3 times? The first time, because everybody needs a solo trip once in a while, right? And so sometimes you want to be able to experience somewhere, just take it all in as a person. So yes, the first time, come as a person. But the second time, come with a loved one, because you can't keep something that is too good with the two of you. You can't keep it to yourself. So you must share it with somebody that you value. So come with a loved one, because the experience with somebody that you love, a brother, a sister, a wife, a girlfriend, a boyfriend, a husband, whatever, right? A significant other. Come with that person. It just will give you that beautiful, if you want a romantic atmosphere, if it can be created. So come. Or the third time is when you've experienced it by yourself and with your loved one, then bring your community. Right? Because the beauty of the Plateau cannot be exhausted.
It's a round of applause for that. Man, this 3 points out that talk. Okay. Well, yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, so that's kind of like the final thing I'd say. Because I mean, see this place, I don't think there's any state in Nigeria that has the tourism potential that Plateau State has. And now, I mean, this government has been shouting time is now, the time is now. So we can as well see the time is
Now.
I'll mash their neck.
All right, guys. Thank you very much for staying tuned with us. See you next week. Visit Just, discover Just. Please follow on all social media platforms. You can follow their social media platforms.
Discover Just on Instagram, Discover Just on TikTok. Discover Just is on YouTube. We've not done a lot on YouTube, but this year we're going to be putting out a lot more YouTube content. But TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Yeah, excellent. Okay, we're not on Twitter yet. That's X, but we're not on Twitter, X yet. But these are the ones, yes.
All right, guys.
Sorry, please and look out. We're going to be starting. We're going to be launching our website and a blog. So yes, a lot more interactive stuff will be coming up very soon. So,
All right, guys. Thank you very, very much for tuning in. See you next week, same time, same energy, same vibe. Peace out. Discover Just.
Discover Just.